And tonight we have our guest host from YouTube, and that is Aaron Sharp. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me on, man.
You're welcome. I have a few questions I'd like to ask you, and then I will turn the questions over to the audience as and my co-hosts here. Were you ever religious, and how did you come to your non-belief?
No, I actually never was religious. My little brother was a little bit. See, it was kind of interesting. When I was growing up, my family never actually talked a whole lot about religion or politics. And later on in life, I actually asked my dad why. I'm like, why did you guys never bring that stuff up?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, well, you were too young to understand what any of it meant, so I didn't think that it was important for me to discuss it with you.
Wow, good
So
dad.
yeah, so I thought that was a great thing. We were kind of left to just make those decisions up for ourselves. So I remember a lot of times laying in bed at night, and my little like we had a bunk bed. This is when we were like 5 years old, 6 years old, or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. And we had bunk beds. My little brother had the bottom bunk. And just as we'd go to bed at night, he would pray every single night. Nobody ever asked him to or anything like that. He just thought it was a necessary thing to do. And,
Hmm.
just laying there in bed thinking about it. And I was really young at the time. Like, who knows? Like, he was probably 6, so I guess I was probably 8. And I just learned that Santa Claus wasn't a real thing, and I was still listening to him pray. And my parents were like, "Hey, don't tell him that Santa Claus isn't a real thing." So it's like almost cliche how it ended up making me kind of like dissuaded against the whole idea of God, because I just lay there and be like, okay, so if God can hear and see everything that happens, why would you need to pray?
Right.
Like why would you like I've never seen anybody else that can fly, and Santa Claus doesn't exist, and he's the only one that I've ever heard that could fly. So I'm fairly sure that God can like float or do whatever he does.
Yeah.
So like and like like all of those kind of, because as soon as that skepticism seed is planted, you start it almost starts to snowball
Yeah.
after a little while. And you'll notice that with people that are recently converting from atheism, or sorry, from theism to atheism, is that they'll go through a myriad of different phases,
Mm-hmm.
and the God claim, or specifically one religion, to believing in something a little bit less, maybe a little bit more spiritual. Maybe they'll like just be a deist at that point, and so on and so on until they're full on atheist. And then there's the whole gambit of emotions that go along with that. But you can actually see with a lot of people that it ends up just snowballing, and that's the same thing for me. By the time I was like 12 or 15 or something like that, I
Mm-hmm.
was full out atheist, and I didn't believe any of it, and I thought it was all ridiculous.
Well, at least you had a family that wasn't going to say, "Oh, well, you don't believe in God. We're just going to come down on you like a ton of bricks." At least you
See,
didn't have that.
that was one place where I was actually really lucky, and I know that a lot of people don't have that,
Yeah.
and that's really sad. And the main thing is that if you live in a household, and every atheist that I know has always said this, if you live in a household where you're still dependent on your parents,
Mm-hmm.
and they are taking care of you, and they would be angry if they found out that you were an atheist, and they would possibly disown you or kick you out of the house or anything like that, then you have to work under completely different rules. You have to make sure that
Mm-hmm.
you are doing the things that make sure that you don't lose your house, because that's the main thing that is important. And after you're able to move out and be on your own, be autonomous and everything like that, then that's the time when you should be able to go out and declare that you're an atheist to the world, and not have to worry
Oh,
about it, even
uh,
though you could probably get fired from your
no.
job.
No, I agree. I agree. We have to live in the closet, as it were, because the fact is that people don't want to accept that. The fact is like, oh my God, you don't believe in my magic sky wizard for no reason, just like the reason I do. And they just can't wrap their heads around that.
Yeah, it's really difficult, and for a lot of people, like it's been bred into them since they were little kids. Like for a lot of other people, it's what's most comforting. Like I don't usually slight anybody for believing in ridiculous things if they haven't had the time to like rationally think them out.
Mm-hmm.
The people that bother me the most when it comes to religious nutters is the ones that have had the time to rationalize, or that have had the time to understand the counter arguments, and have found time to rationalize it to themselves. Those are the people that I not necessarily fear, but dislike, or at least I dislike their the way that they think.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that. I have no problem with people believing whatever they want as long as they don't push it on people. Or and you also put it nicely that uh, basically if you're living at home and you have a family that's very religious and you don't believe, you're
Mhm.
better off to hide from that for right now until you can get out on your own.
I wouldn't like to use the word hide, but yeah, I guess that it would be a type of hiding. At least
Yeah,
it's just making sure that your ass is covered, basically.
yeah, it's protection,
But
self protection.
when you said that you don't think that they're as long as they're not trying to push it on you, they can believe whatever they want. I don't agree with that, actually.
Oh,
I
really?
think no. I think that you should strive, and I mean like you can't legislate this or anything like that.
Hmm.
But I believe that you should strive to believe as many true things and as few
Oh,
false
I
things
no, I get
as
that.
possible. Just like Matt Delahunt, he always says. The reason being is that anytime that you believe something irrational for bad reasons, you are likely to make decisions based on those beliefs.
No, that's very true.
And the last thing that I want is people voting in the name of some kind of deity that is patently false.
Oh no, I get that. I get that. I mean, I meant in the context as long as what you're believing doesn't hurt anybody. I mean, if you
Mm.
can believe in a sky monkey if you want to, as long as you don't force it on me, I really don't care. But don't take it to
Leave
put it
your
in the
politics out of
yes,
it. Leave,
exactly.
yeah.
Don't push it into our schools, our government, and places like that.
Hey,
That's
if every religion was like that, I would want to keep every single one of them because really, by that point, then it's just but but still at the same time, I hate the idea of people believing dumb things for bad reasons. It just
oh yeah,
that's something that's always bothered me, and that's part of the reason why I even started the YouTube channel in the first place is
yeah.
because it's not necessarily like I want to stop people from that, but I want to do as much as I can to dissuade them from being in that headspace.
Yeah, you actually went into my next question. What made you decide to get into making YouTube videos?
Oh man, I've been making YouTube videos since like 2006.
Mm-hmm.
I had a channel back then. I actually kind of made a video a little bit touching on this. I made a channel back in 2006 until 2012, I want to say, and I made all kinds of different videos.
Mm-hmm.
I worked really hard on it, and I didn't get anywhere with it really. And after a while, it just became infeasible, and I just stopped working with it. A lot of the content was good, and I actually uploaded some of it to my new YouTube channel now, the Deadhead Animation.
Mm.
But what made me start doing the Deadhead Animation channel is long conversations that me and two of my friends used to always have because we worked together. And we had a lot of time where we'd just be walking back and forth through this yard, and we'd just talk about what we would do while making a cartoon, and we worked it all out. We watched a lot of like tutorial videos, and like bought tons and tons of DVDs, like cartoon DVDs, like Animaniacs and stuff like that, and watched
Mm.
like the behind the scenes footage and everything, so as that we could get like all of the information that we could find out about how to do animation and all that kind of stuff. And then after a while, I had all this stuff just sitting on my computer, and I'm like, I have to do something with this. It's
Right.
important to me. So finally, I just released a couple of videos, and then yeah, that's how that started.
Oh, that's cool.
And then I pimped it out to everybody that I knew, and hassled people maliciously.
You kind of have to. It's like, hey, you have to kind of beat down the door. It's like, hey, take a look at this.
Yeah, no, totally. Because the problem with a lot of YouTube is that it's incredibly hard to find new content, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
the smaller YouTubers, they are so um, uh, mauled down by this huge weight of other videos that are on top of them, of like the huge the huge channels, and also like just millions and millions of smaller channels. A lot of gaming channels and movie review channels end up falling into this problem
Yeah.
where they'll have really good content, but they'll never get any views. So they'll never get popular, and then a lot of them will end up having to quit.
Yeah.
So you basically like what I do is I take the old school method of just banging on doors. Go knock on a whole bunch of doors and go tell anybody that you can about it.
Yeah.
Send out electronic flyers everywhere you can.
I would put up a billboard, but I don't have that kind of cash.
Totally.
I have a quick question regarding your animation. On some of your videos, like you have do like a 2-minute segment there. How long does it take you to animate just like 2 minutes of video, just for the
Yeah,
to move
so
around and
two
stuff like
minutes, 2 minutes of video. I have streamlined my process so much, and I
that?
cut a lot of the wasted time that I would have before.
Mm-hmm.
So now for like a 2 minute long video, I think that I could probably get it done in probably about 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours,
Wow.
something like that. But that's a far cry from what it was when I first started, like even 11 months ago. It would take me easily. I said it in one of the videos before, but I can't remember exactly what it was. Something like 48 hours. So
Wow.
like 8 hour days, however many days a week, to be able to get done one video that was like 5 minutes of animation.
Mm-hmm.
I was also trying for a lot more complicated stuff then, and like kind of biting off a little bit more than I could chew. But
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah. But now the process is so streamlined that it takes not very much time.
Well, that's good at least. I have another question here. What's one of the other video channels out there that you really like? That you think
Oh,
you should tell people about, so you just like we're kind of passing it forward there as I say.
where can I start? Oh man, there are so many. Okay, so one channel that's bigger than mine that everybody should go check out is Smells Like E Minor.
Mm.
That guy is probably like one of my best friends online. You guys got to go check him out. He's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of more people. There's Chrisiosity. She is. I really hope that I'm saying that right because I have a tendency to read names improperly. Chrisiosity. Check her out. No More Dogma. I don't agree with him on virtually like 90% of the things that he says, but he is super rational and willing to be up for a debate with anybody at any time, and
Well, that's
I
good.
really enjoy that about him. Who else? Dark Ram 6.
Oh yeah.
He's awesome. Skeptical Unchild. I did a video with him as well. He's awesome. Oh man, there are so many good ones. I know I'm missing Pure Carbon is great. I know I'm missing a bunch of people, but like there are so many that I just can't name them all right off the top of my head.
Oh sure.
Hey, any one of you guys that's out there that I'm missing, I'm sorry. I meant to say your name, but I fucking spaced that on a live show.
That's hey. These are questions that he did not have time to prepare for, so we're testing his mental acuity right now.
That's right.
I have one more question here. What do you do outside of your YouTube persona? Do you have like a job? Do you hunt mountains? What do you do?
Yeah, actually, I do all those things. I have I have a job. I work in a kitchen. I used to be a construction worker. I did that for 11 years.
Mm.
Then I also I hunt, I fish, I go camping, long walks on the beach.
Really? Tell me more.
Not super big into anal, but I'm open like for suggestion.
Call me later.
I will.
$4.99 for the first minute.
It's a little much. I like them cheap.
It's worth every penny. Swear. Anyway.
Oh.
Call me now. Speaking of call me now, Miss Cleo's dead. I
Is
don't
she?
mean to derail
Oh, yeah.
the conversation, but
Did she die recently?
I bet-
yeah,
Oh, really? Okay.
to death.
You think she saw that coming?
I doubt it.
No,
I doubt it. I'll have to look that up. I was unaware that she just recently passed away. So.
yeah, it was all over the Faces book.
Oh, I did. Shit. See where I've been to the last 24 hours.
Yeah, well, you got a life to lead, Cha Cha.
Yeah, this is true. I have a life outside of Facebook and
know.
everywhere else. Tom, do you have any questions for Aaron?
Why do you work so hard?
Why do I work so hard? like at my job or at this channel? I work super hard at this channel because I want people to enjoy what I'm putting out, and I think that whenever somebody puts a lot of effort and a lot of work into whatever they're doing, I think that people see that and it registers with them, and I think that it makes them want to see more of the content. I just generally think that if you put 110% into anything that you do, people will, for the most part, be attracted to that.
Yeah.
It's all a marketing strategy.
That doesn't
That's all
explain.
it is. It's a marketing strategy.
Yeah, it doesn't explain this channel though. I put a lot into this channel. I put a lot of work into this channel. A lot of editing goes into this channel too. So.
You know, and that's the thing that a lot of people don't realize is that how much work it is behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Even putting out a regular video where you're just putting up a couple of pictures that you source from Google Images or whatever can take fucking all day.
Yeah.
Like it's a super complicated thing. It's super difficult. You have to learn lots of different programs. Audiences are fickle. If you have a few minutes of dead time, people aren't going to enjoy it and they're going to walk away.
Yeah.
If you and especially nowadays, back in 2006 to 2012, back in like older YouTube time, you didn't have to worry about that kind of stuff. You could put out like a sound, rational, logical argument and put out like a 3-hour long video and you'd have fucking everybody watching the damn thing and just taking notes.
Mm-hmm.
But nowadays you have to say something completely irrational or else nobody's going to listen to you.
Or put a cat video up.
Or put a cat video up
or
whatever.
Breathing.
Right? So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. People
breathing.
We don't breathe
Cut
here.
Out every breath.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I do that.
Oh.
I actually, no, I do that. I do that too. Yeah. I cut out the breaths.
Yeah.
So
you
it's
people
like,
don't understand what we go through for you.
They don't. They really don't.
Just love us.
See, now I feel bad because I own YouTube channel, and I phone it in. I spend 5 minutes on video, 5 minutes on editing, and up it goes. But I talk really fast, so there is no breathing and there's no dead air.
Tom doesn't breathe.
One cut.
Tom doesn't breathe. He said he's like, shit, I'll breathe on the weekend.
That's it. I'll breathe when I'm dead.
Tom, did you have any other questions for Aaron?
No, I'm good.
Okay, Paul, do you have any questions for Aaron?
Yes, I do. So you're Canadian?
Yeah, man.
No, actually, I don't.
Wait a minute, he's Canadian? Shit, we gotta start this over again now.
The thing with the animation now, it looks like to me, and maybe I have eye trouble. I don't know. I don't want to get you in any kind of difficulty, but it looks to me like your characters in the videos that I've seen look an awful lot like Lego characters, Lego people.
What?
Yeah, I know. It's I was on a train all day.
You do know
I could be hallucinating.
No, I don't really see the resemblance. I know that
Okay.
like I have a mini block figurine as my avatar picture, but as far as any of the content goes, I don't really use them that much. I do have an anthropomorphic character that is like a small plastic toy with hooks for hands that has jaundice and wears a tiny little yellow fez on the top of his head.
Okay.
Like I really don't see how anybody could mistake that for being what did you call it? Lego?
Yeah, I think it's Laotian. But anyway,
Sure, is that Duplo?
yes.
Yeah.
Well,
hey,
the reason I bring that
whatever.
up,
No, I honestly I can't see any possible legal
Any
repercussions from this
resemblance at all.
whatsoever.
it's just me. I hit my head before I came on. But the reason I bring that up is one of the things that I bumped into when I was doing News Undies is I was completely paranoid about even the appearance of horking anybody else's content.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether it's a photograph or whether it's a piece of music or a piece of video or whatever. I got so spooked by the whole DMCA thing that it was like, well, my theme music, I wrote and performed my theme music myself. The background photo on the set, I shot that thing and I took it to Staples and I had a banner printed. You know, it was just like the whole thing was me. And it's like I see other people using content that I understand that, there's fair use and all these other kinds of things, but if a content owner gets a wild hair up their butt, they can just DMCA you. And I wonder if that's anything that you've ever thought about, or is anything that you've dealt with?
Yeah, you know what? A lot of problems can arise from using copywritten material, and anybody who's out there who wants to make new videos or anything like that, a good idea is to always stick with your own original content and never using anybody's copywritten material. That is an absolute must. And I would never tell anybody that they should go out and use anybody else's content.
At least not without permission.
Theoretically, if somebody was to use somebody else's content, all kinds of things end up happening. So, say if you use a piece of music that is copywritten or something like that, a lot of the times you can end up getting basically demonetization on a video, stuff like that. So on my channel, what I tend to do is a lot of the time I will ask whatever artist it is that made whatever thing that I'm using and find out if I can actually use it. A lot of things do fall under fair use because my channel is a purely satirical channel. Well, not purely, it's a satirical channel. It also can fall under journalism to a certain extent. So as far as my channel goes, I'm pretty well covered under fair use for a lot of things, but that doesn't necessarily mean everything. So recently I was using, well, actually since, like I said, 2006, I've been using this same score that I had thought, and I thought I had looked it up and I thought I had researched it. I was positive, at least in my mind, that the score that I was using, Aaron Copland's Rodeo Hoedown, was in the public domain. I thought that it had been for a long, long time. And it wasn't up until just like a month ago that I ended up starting to get demonetization on a bunch of my videos because of it. And once I found that out, as soon as I find out that the material was copywritten or whatever, then I just obviously just take it out of the video or however it works, right? So, or
your monetization,
contact the holder of the DMC or of the thing. Sorry, what was that?
Your monetization, it's what's for dinner.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, they used that hoedown on the beef council commercial.
Yeah.
I'm taking it back. Nobody else remembers that though. Talking about the internet generation, and that's like an old TV commercial. Yeah. Nobody has any idea.
Wait a minute. Write this down. TV. I mean, television.
They're like books.
They're like books with pictures, moving pictures.
But like they have moving pictures.
You know that
I hear that they work through a series
that used to be used for other things.
Yeah, Paul, did you have any other questions?
Is that a reference to masturbation?
No, Netflix.
Netflix.
Gaming. The gaming screen.
Because to be fair, everything is a reference to masturbation.
Yes. Donald Trump, doubly so.
You know what the best part about Donald Trump is?
What's that?
His tiny hands make it look huge.
Huge.
They make huge.
Makes it look huge.
So, I actually have another question for Aaron.
Sure.
And I hope this doesn't like open a can of worms or send us down a rabbit hole. But what's your primary animation tool? What do you use?
I would like to keep that undisclosed.
Okay.
Okay. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
I was actually going to ask the same question. What do you use to edit your shows with?
If anybody really wants to find out any of that kind of information, I'd rather like discuss it in like a private forum.
Oh, sure.
Like
sure.
that.
Cool.
Just because I don't really want to get into the whole thing behind it, but
oh, sure.
Yeah.
No worries. Pirate Bay. Sorry.
I withdraw the question.
Again. Never use copyrighted material, never pirate software, never do anything bad, stay straight and narrow, keep your nose clean, stop being such a terrible person.
IKEA puppets.
Thanks for coming, everybody. No.
And that's the show. Dun, 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 dun.
Does anybody have any last questions for Paul? We have some questions from the chat room here.
What are your
Questions
hope
for
and
Aaron?
aspirations for your channel?
Yeah, that's a good question.
To be bigger than PewDiePie, man.
Oh, there you go.
I'm coming for him. He's going down.
Who?
I've heard of him. Actually, I've never seen any of his work. I don't understand why he's so popular. I've never.
That's the funny thing too, is that I've never actually seen one of his videos. I'm not sure if anybody actually has.
Yeah.
We should ask. Like, has anybody out there actually seen a PewDiePie video? I think that this is bullshit.
That would
I
be-
don't even think he's a real person. He's probably a reptilian. It's like Donald Trump. And
It's
Hillary
all
Clinton.
clickbait.
It's all clickbait. Yeah. All right. Well, we have some questions from the chat room here. From Poisoning the Well. Thank you for your question.
Hey, what's up, guys?
He says, "How bad did Fat Pat pawn your Twitter, Deadhead?"
Oh, no. Don't you be starting shit in this chat room too, man. I will come down there. I don't know exactly where you guys live, but I will find your house with my satellite surveillance systems, and I will destroy your entire world.
We're moving the Hubble.
The end of Poisoning the Well has cometh. Their destruction is nigh.
I do want to say also something else. I did want to say the voice that you use for your character, it fits your character very well.
Oh, thanks. I always, I'm really glad when people say that. Most of the time, people say, "Why in the fuck did you do such a squeaky, girly voice? It sounds terrible. Stop making videos."
Oh, fuck those people.
Fuck those guys.
Yeah, fuck those people. They don't know what they're talking about. I think it adds to it. I mean, every character has to have its own unique voice, and I think your character is a very niche. There you go. Paul's very good with that too. So,
yeah, and you know what? With a lot of the content that I do, I think it's better to use a character. I think that, and me and a friend of mine, Jason Harding, talked about this before. Is that how?
Friend of the show, by the way.
Sorry?
He's a friend of the show, by the way. We've had him on.
Oh, right on. Yeah, Jason's the shit. Shout out to Jason.
Yep.
Yeah, me and him have talked about this before, and a lot of YouTube seems like, even when people are being 100% genuine, a lot of the time they just seem like they are actually putting on an act or being more hyperbolic about things than they actually need to be. And I've kind of even seen that a little bit when I've been talking to more YouTubers as my channel is starting to gain momentum. I've started to talk to more YouTubers, and I kind of even see it just from talking to them directly and then watching their channel. There's like this bit of a divide, right? So a lot of YouTube, in my opinion, tends to be fucking like full of shit. So in my case, like, it's a lot like a magic act with me, right? Like, I'm not sitting here saying that 100% of the things that I'm saying are what I necessarily believe. Sometimes I blow things out of proportion. Sometimes I make an ass out of myself, and that's not necessarily how I would act or what I would say in real life or anything like that. But I'm going to tell you that up front instead of making people have the idea that what I'm saying is genuine and from and 100% always from a real place, and not once in a while just pandering or trying to do something to attract views. Though I do things to attract views. I have absolutely no qualms with putting a thumbnail with a big pair of titties in it. That does not bother me.
I'll have to start remembering to do that. Just put titties on every one of them.
Dude, titties everywhere. It always works. Put a couple of, muscular Johnsons in the picture. That works sometimes.
I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start putting stuff up behind me, just pictures of women just bouncing or something, I guess. I don't know. If that's what it takes.
That's a great idea. You want to bring in the women? Just put up, like, Magic Mike. Just, like, don't even bother putting your face up there at all. Just have, like, him do that dance routine and just play it in a loop, and you'll get, like, tons of women all through your chat, man. It works every time.
Okay.
Was I answering a question? Because I totally forgot what it was.
You were, but we were kind of sidelined.
What was the question again?
I have no idea.
The real Paul Marshall asks, and thank you for your question, is where do you buy your hats?
My hats?
Yes, because your Darwin hat is awesome.
You know what? There's a lot of places. I go to Russell's Chapeau and Humidoratorium. I sometimes get it from the Mad Haberdashery. You know, there's a lot of places. You know, just Google image search hats, and I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find all of my hats on the very first page.
There you go.
A lot of in-depth research and time has been put into the hat finding on this channel. It's one of my more important. It's one of the more important things on the channel is the hats.
Yeah. Well, hats were invented to keep, you know, people from showing their baldness. Of course.
That's true. And just think, like, there are famous hats out there. Make America Great hat. That's a famous hat.
Yes, it is.
Made
in China.
It was made in China.
Evilness asks, and thank you for your question, is it hard being plastic? Puns. LOL.
Oh, only when your mom comes over.
Ooh.
Bam.
That was a terrible joke. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. It was just you set me up for it, and then I knocked it down.
The real Paul Marshall asks, use pics of etc. Gumbel Bits. I have no idea who that is.
What the fuck? What did I just have an acid flashback? What the hell just happened?
I don't know what that even is.
Gumbel Bliss?
Gumbel Bits? Gollum Bits. I don't know what that is.
Okay. Ask away. What's the question?
That's what it was. It says use pics of Electra Gumbel Bits. I have no idea who that even is. And Evilness says my mom is a whore. It's okay. So.
Dude,
that's what she said.
Very nice lady.
That's what she said. I'm just reading exactly what she wrote.
Holy crap.
Might have been
She's a
naughty
sweet
bit.
and caring woman.
And autocorrect.
He does want to know. Paul Marshall does ask, have you ever heard of Douglas Adams? Maybe he's asking me. I've heard of Douglas Adams. Yes. 42. Okay.
Thanks for all the fish.
Thanks for all the fish. Okay, yeah. I didn't recognize the name. It's been a while since I've read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh, I've never read it.
Douglas
I'm not a fan of books.
Yeah.
A book?
A book? A book?
What is a book?
Book. It's like a non-digital thing. It has words on it.
I read one of
like a Kindle with pages.
one time, and it was called 1984. Ever since then, I've been sitting inside of my living room with a pike guarding the door.
A smoking pipe or like a lead pipe?
No, I said a pike, but you know what?
Pike.
Both.
To put their
All three
put
of
their
those
heads
things.
It's a Canadian thing.
It's a Canadian thing. I got my moose. I got my toque.
Yeah,
Put my Chesterfield against the door. Sit on the roof.
Evilness wants to know why you haven't taken her out on a date yet.
I'm sorry. When are you free? I'm super busy right now as I'm about to get married in like next month, but I don't see a reason why.
That's
I don't
terrible.
see a reason why that would stop us going on a wonderful date.
Yeah, I think she was referring to her mom. You know, when you said yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That sounds kind of weird. I don't know if all three of us should go on a date together, unless my wife comes along. Then it's a party.
That's true. That's
A
true.
4-person threesome?
Exactly, a 4-person threesome. You got it, man.
That's like my band.
That's a sweet name for a band.
My band is Cranston's biggest 6-piece one-man band.
I'm gonna. Paul said.
Dummy head.
Paul saying I'm reading everything in the chat room, and yes, I am, and I will. And Evilness says, "Let's make this super awkward." She's got huge tits.
So do I.
I should say motorboat.
We have something in common. That's the thing. Every time you see a picture of titties on the thumbnails of my videos, they're mine.
Sweet.
Take one more question.
Okay. Do you have any more?
What's the weather like in Canada?
Yeah. What is the weather like in Canada? Snow,
Hot
right?
as fuck right now. I have my air conditioner off so I can actually talk to you guys without having a whole bunch of background noise, and I'm dying, man.
Yeah.
It's like 32 degrees or something like that today, which is like pretty hot, but not like
Is that
Arizona
Celsius?
desert hot. So.
Is that Celsius?
Yeah, that's Celsius.
Okay, I was gonna say. like
I'm
32
not
degrees.
gonna
I mean,
I'm
shit.
not going to sit here and hold your hand and change it to Fahrenheit for you. All right, I'm not going to do that. I think that people should be able to decide for themselves. I think that they can do it themselves.
Yes, it's all global climate change. Thanks, Obama.
Yeah.
Thanks, Obama. You bastard. So, is there any more questions?
Yeah, Evilness says she's in Canada too. So
Oh.
Didn't even get any snow this year. So
Not no, all summer long. It's been pretty much snow free.
yeah. I usually hear about that. You don't usually get snow in the summer.
No, actually, where I live in the Badlands in Alberta. So so it's like very. It's not like it's not like the Arizona desert or anything like that, but it is technically a desert where I live. So we end up getting super extreme weather. So in the wintertime, and I don't know what it would be in Fahrenheit because not that smart. But in the wintertime, it can get all the way to minus 40 Celsius, and in the summertime, it can get to like 35 Celsius. So, and that's a massive difference.
Oh yeah.
So and like just being that I just moved here maybe only a few years ago, adjusting to that it's super difficult because you're never really that comfortable. You either have the heat blaring or you have your air conditioner on high, and if your air conditioner ever breaks, oh fuck, you might as well just kill yourself.
Oh yeah, no shit. I hear you. I live in a beer can. If I don't have air conditioner running,
really?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Amazing. You must be tiny. Do you need a roommate?
Actually, I do.
I can't pay much as I constantly blow all of my money on ridiculous things.
I know. I saw that video with all the
My pyramid of jet skis.
Yeah,
true story. Actually, this is a true story.
Aaron, where can they find your channel?
You can find my channel at youtube.com/Deadhead Animation. You can also check me out on Twitter at Lego Darwin, I believe it is. You can check out my Facebook. All this stuff is linked in the description on every single one of my videos. And I'm sure if you just punch in Lego Darwin into a Google search, I'm on at least the first or second page.
Yeah, so, I also have you on our screen as Professor Darwin.
Professor Darwin, there you go. That's the one.
Yeah.
And go check me out. I produce some new videos every Monday, and and it's a lot of fun. I try to put as much effort into it for you guys, so you have a good time and you're entertained.
Yes, absolutely. Did you like this segment of Packard Pokes At? If you did, please click here on the video to see more from this show. Also, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the show. You can find our second podcast, The Atheist, the Bible, and No Wardrobe, on iTunes, Stitcher, and Spreaker. Be sure to check those out.